Hi, I'm Shailesh Prabhu. My friends call me Slash. I'm a game designer and co-founder of Yellow Monkey Studios. We are an independent game development studio making games on the iOS and now Android as well. I've been interested in games ever since I was in the 7th standard, and I think I played my first game that time, which was Wolf, and I was really amazed by this virtual world that was created, and I was like, hey, I want to do this. By the time I was in junior college, I thought that programming would be my thing, and I signed up for engineering. During those days, I realized I started reading up about on the internet and on all the game development books and things like that about game design, which was actually coming up with the concept for the games, coming up with the mechanics. So that got me interested, and there was an interview for a games job, which is the first really games job I had seen advertised in India. And I was like, hey, I have to go there. And I got hired as a gameplay expert, and that was my first job in the game industry. So 5 years ago, me and a friend of mine, Avin, we started Yellow Monkey Studios, primarily because there was no creative work happening in India. As game designers, you feel irrelevant if you're not working on new games, original ideas. And that is why we set up Yellow Monkey Studios to make new original IP from India, targeted at the global market. I'm a game designer. What that mostly entails is coming up with concepts for games, fleshing them out, what the characters are, what the gameplay is, why is it fun, how do you make it more accessible to players, how do the players interact with the game world, and things like that. And not just coming up with this, but also working tightly with the programmers and ensuring that things are happening as planned, and if they are not happening, then why are they not happening as per plan. It's making games. It can't get any cooler than that. I think the timings are flexible. You can come to offices in your shorts and t-shirts. It's a very thought-stimulating job. You get creative satisfaction. Creative process of game design, for us at least, is a very case-by-case, has been a very case-by-case process. Our first game was a game called Finger Footy, which primarily came about because I saw the state of football games at the time, and they were mostly ports of existing PSP games. So they had a D-pad drawn on the screen, and you would just touch the virtual buttons on the screen. So I thought that let's do a more top view a football game where you actually play with your fingers, just flicking the ball around. That was the basic idea for Finger Footy. That's where it started. But subsequently, we saw that Finger Footy didn't really do very well because we couldn't get the word out enough in the global market. So for our second game, our objective was, let's go completely crazy, let's capture the world's attention. And the second game, which is called It's Just a Thought, it was targeted mostly at the independent games festivals abroad. And we knew that probably commercially the game will not do very well. The game is basically the journey of a thought inside your mind, and it got us an award at a games festival in Spain as the best original idea. And for our third game, which is going to be launching on towards the end of August, it's called Hubrix, and it's an original puzzle game. So there's an empty grid with colored blocks around, and you have to fill the grid with paths from these blocks. The length of the paths will be given on those colored blocks itself. If you want to be a game designer, one of the best things you can do is play a lot of games, analyze them, why they work, why they don't work, read a lot of game design articles on the internet. There are some courses even in India, available in India, like there's ICAT in Chennai, there's a DSK Supinfo game in Pune, and there's Backstage Pass in Hyderabad. But I would still say that I think self-taught game designers are probably the best kind. The future opportunities of gaming are quite bright, irrespective of whether you're targeting the Indian or the global market. I think with the tablet boom, the consumption of gaming content on smartphones and tablets is huge. There are also interesting niches in like simulations and trainings. For example, there's simulations for nurses and doctors, and for military personnel, and for firefighters and things like that. So that's an interesting space called serious games. So there's also social games, which is gaming that allows more interaction between friends on social networks. And that's also an interesting space which has been booming for the past 3-4 years, I guess. Another new field which is really booming is gamification. This is basically making standard run-of-the-mill processes more fun using elements from games. So let's say you want to go shopping. So you'll just make your shopping list in a way that will be more fun. So level 1 is when you buy these 5 items, or level 2 is when. So these kind of gamification elements are being introduced in everyday activities, in software management, in social networking, in anything and everything where you can show progress to the player. Financially, I think you may start off a little lower than traditional software companies. You may start off with something around 15,000 a month, but the growth will be much rapid. I think today there are so many tools available online. People can easily make games. Even non-programmers can make games, and you can make a lot of prototypes and polish them and just showcase them whenever you apply to a games company. That'll really put you in the forefront, because people want to see people who have done stuff on their own initiative. So that's one thing that anybody who's looking to get into the game industry can do. But one of the things that is really needed for people who want to be in the games industry is patience and determination. So there'll be a long span of time where you may be working on just one project or maybe just 2 projects. So you need to be patient, and you need to be able to constantly work and improve something based on others' feedbacks. For anyone who wants to know more about the development process of games, they could visit our blog, and we are running a development thread where we are showcasing how we've made our latest title, Hubrix. So that might be a good place to start.